All right, guys. So I'm going to talk to you about your day two, part two of the project here. Part two is going to look a little bit different because you're actually going to be working independently. So you'll still be sitting with your group. You can still talk to your group, but most of the work that you're going to be doing is actually on your own. So it's going to look a little bit different. You're going to be working in one of four different roles. So you're going to get to choose which role you want of the four options that I give you. But each group should only have one person in each role. So there are four roles. So that means in groups of four, you'll have one person doing each thing. Groups of three, you can choose which one you don't want. You don't have to do all four. And the one exception, guys, there are a few groups of five. If you're in a group of five and all five of you are here, then you'll just have somebody can double up. You'll have two of one of the roles. But for the most part, they're all going to work independently. And the reason that I am doing this, guys, is that for this project, you will get a group grade. You'll get a grade as a group, but you're also going to get an individual grade. I know some of you have been worried about your group members not contributing. And so that's why I do this. I want to make sure the whole group's getting a grade and individuals are getting a grade so that hopefully everybody is motivated to work. Okay, this assignment, this day two assignment, is going to be part of your individual grade. So that's why we're doing this sort of independent work. Okay. All right, so let me talk about the four different roles and then I'll just kind of go over your task briefly for each one. So our day two roles are these. The first one is the artist. The artist is going to describe in detail how your wonder looks. What does it look like? What makes it beautiful? What makes it pretty? What makes it interesting? So it's all about how the thing looks. Our second person is going to be our engineer. The engineer is going to be interested in how the wonder was built. How did they put this thing together? These are all, for their time, were really, really difficult to make. And so the engineer's job is to figure out how they did it. How did they make it? Okay. The historian, they are going to describe why the wonder was built and what happened there. So we want to know, what did they make this thing for? What did they use it for? The culture that you're studying, and then what events happened there. So, what events can you point to that happened at your wonder? Now, I want to clarify something here. In some cases, we don't know. So, for example, if you were doing Stonehenge, we don't really know what it was used for or what events happened there. So, you're going to have to make some educated guesses, and that's okay. I worded the worksheet to make that work for you. Okay. The last role is kind of fun. It's a little different than the other three, but I really like it. It's going to be a time travel agent. So, you're not just a regular travel agent, you're a time travel agent. And that person's job is going to be to plan a trip to your wonder in the past. So you're going to pretend like you're living in a time when it's possible to travel around time and to time travel. That's why I put a picture of Doctor Who's TARDIS over here. Okay, so you can travel in time and you're going to have to plan a trip into the past and answer some questions about that and what that would look like. So let me just show you the four worksheets real quick for each of the roles. So first off, this is the artist worksheet. So you can see here, you need to pick 8 adjectives that describe your wonder, pick some unique features, and then write a description of the wonder. So it's going to look like this. All of the worksheets are front back, so they all should be about the same amount of work. Okay, the engineer, same thing here. You're going to find a couple sources and then use those sources to complete the tasks. What materials was your wonder made out of? What type of land was it built on? Do we know for sure how the wonder was built, or are we still trying to figure that out? That'll be different depending on the wonder. And then here, you're either going to explain how it was built or how historians think it might have been built. So if we don't know for sure how it was built, then write about how we think it might have been built. The pyramids of Egypt are a really good example of one where we don't know for sure, but we have a lot of theories. Okay. And then you're going to start thinking about how you would build the model of your wonder. Okay, this is the historian. So same thing, you're going to find a couple sources and then use those sources to complete these tasks. So what culture built your wonder? What was it used for? what was the historical era or period. I can help you with this one. It might be kind of tricky. And then list some events that happened there. So you're going to have to find some things that happened there, or again, make an educated guess about what might have happened there. Lastly, we have our time travel agent here. That's this one. Our time travel agent, same thing, find a couple sources. This is the interesting bit about this one, okay? Imagine that you live in the future or in a future and time travel is possible. So you're a time travel agent who helps people plan vacations to different time periods, okay? In fact, I made a typo, so I'm going to fix that. Okay. So where are people going to go to visit your wonder? Like, how are you going to find it on a map? What year are they going to choose? Will they be able to find a hotel? Or are they going to have to stay in a camp? Are there other things nearby that they might visit? So this one's a little different, but I think we can have some fun with that. Okay, one last thing I want to mention here, guys, and then I'll let you get on your way. If you are doing the artist role, you do need to find some pictures on just Google Images of your wonder. And we're going to need to copy those into a Word document and save that Word document to your OneDrive. So I want you to do this so that you guys have a stash of pictures to use when we go to make our travel brochures later in the project. So all of you are completing the worksheet, and the artist has one small extra step of finding some images and saving that to your OneDrive. And I will come around to each group to help you make sure we get that part done. Otherwise, guys, you can go ahead and start picking roles and get started on part 2 as soon as you're ready. All right, thanks, guys.